Riders in this motherfucker. The holidays? Shit. That means 12 days of fuck you. Riders for life.
How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to day 8 of 12 Days of Christmas Horror Review Challenge, created by my good buddy, Horrific Nightmares, Jason. I'm sorry, Horrific Nightmares Jam, also known as Jason. He just hit 500 subs, by the way. Go over, check out his channel if you haven't already. Give him a sub. Check out his sub contest that's going on right now. And big congrats to you again, Jason. Shout out to HorrorFan34, McKnight696, or is it 969? Damn it, I can never remember. And I hope you're doing better, my buddy Dave. So today I am doing the 1980 film Christmas Evil, directed by Lewis Jackson, I cannot talk, and starring Brandon Maggart as Harry Stadling. Way back in the day, a very young Harry sees his mother getting groped up, felt up, and just getting down with Santa Claus. Unbeknownst to Harry, it was his father, because Harry always believed in Santa, so it could not have possibly been his father. Years later, completely obsessed with Santa Claus, Harry snaps and goes on a Yuletide killing spree, delivering presents to good children and delivering a lot of bad things to bad people. This movie was also known as You Better Watch Out and Terror in Toyland. Now, I have a few pros, but I really only have one con, and I can't even be sure if the con is with the film. Okay? Let me tell you why. The transfer of this film was terrible. My buddy Bill had this set, and I borrowed it from him, and I thought it was an 8-movie set, but it's not. It's a 4-movie set. And it's Roots of Evil set from Brentwood Home Video. And this is just absolutely amazing to me. The transfer is so terrible on this film. Okay, it's in full screen format, so I had to expand it to letterbox. And then just like, it's just totally eaten up, and you can just see like all the little, back in the old days, like if you were watching old school film, you know what I'm talking about? And then the funniest thing ever happened, and I'm going to show you guys something real quick. While I was watching the movie, towards the end of the film, this actually pops up on the screen. Isn't that nuts? Just out of the middle of nowhere, and I'm pretty sure that's not part of the film. That just happens to be up on the screen. So, anyways, though, here's my con. The cuts and the transfers between scenes. There's a few times, like towards the beginning, where, just as an example, when Harry sees his father, quote-unquote, Santa Claus, go back up the chimney, all of a sudden there is a very sharp, abrupt cut right in the middle of what looks like the scene is still going. It doesn't look like it was a gradual fade out or it was ready to change over. It just cut abruptly right in the middle of what looked like a sequence of movement. Okay? And then the very next scene is completely different. And it did that a few times during the film. So that's why I say I'm not sure if it's actually a con for the film or if it's just the transfer. If it's just the transfer, then I will check it out when I get a chance to find this movie on Blu-ray. My buddy Jason from Horrific Nightmares told me that it is available on a really good Blu-ray from crap, I forgot which one he said it was from. I can't remember. One of the boutique companies. But I will find it. And I definitely want to find it because this was a really good film. I really liked this one. To me, it really captured that holiday season, especially in New York. It really captured the Christmas feel. Everything was centered around Christmas. It wasn't just somebody went killing on Christmas. Everything in this movie was centered around Santa Claus and around Christmas. And that is my first pro, is I love the story of this film. I thought the story was really good. I thought it was really creative, really well done. This guy gets so obsessed with Santa Claus that, okay, his adult life, he is literally watching the kids in his neighborhood. He literally watches the kids in his neighborhood on binoculars all the time. He's always watching them, I guess. And at first I thought, whoa, this guy's like some sort of pedophile pervert or something, but that's not the case. He is so obsessed with Santa Claus that he writes all their names down and what they do in a book for bad children and a book for good children. And then I guess he's had this fantasy of being Santa Claus for quite a few years, because you see him before he even starts going like totally batshit nuts. You see him like trying on different Santa Claus stuff and things like that, and putting a pillow under his pants. Even his pajamas are Santa suit pajamas. And that leads me into my next pro. You really get to see a very slow descent into madness with this film and with this character. Harry is nuts, man, I'm telling you. But it's not one of those things where something happens and all of a sudden he just snaps and bam. He goes from normal to killer. We watch his progression in this movie as he gets crazier and crazier and crazier. Now his family, his brother Philip, always knew he was a little bit off. You know, and he knew that he was obsessed with Santa and things like that, but still, you get to watch him, especially in this one particular Christmas, where you get to see him get more insane and madder and madder and madder. And it's just brilliant. I think it's done so well. This movie is definitely a slow burn movie. But when the gore does come, we got some good gore. Now, there's not a ton of gore in this movie, but where there is gore, it's done really well. There is a kill where he kills a guy with what looks like a little toy axe, but it's obviously got an actual sharp blade, and that was really good. There's a kill where he takes a toy soldier with a bayonet rifle and shoves it through a guy's eye, and you see the squirting of the eye and everything, and that was really cool. There's, really good gore. My next pro, to segue off of that, is there's some good, interesting kills. The kills are not all just stabbing with a butcher knife. You actually see him pull out a butcher knife in a scene where he's in somebody's house. But then he doesn't use that butcher knife on anybody. He just uses it to cut open packages. And he puts it back in his bag. And he actually uses toys and things like that he has in his bag to kill people. And one particular scene, and this is a spoiler, he tries to suffocate a guy with his actual bag. And, I really enjoyed the variety of the attempted kills and the kills. The final pro that I want to talk about is the third act of this film. I really like the third act. And in the words of my buddy Jason, it gets batshit crazy. Okay? Spoilers again, guys. If you haven't seen this movie, it's been out since 1980. But then again, I haven't seen this movie. This is the first time I've ever seen it. And I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited about this film. The last two reviews I've done, this one and the one I did yesterday, I'm really excited about. This is some good stuff, man. I'm really enjoying this review series. This has been so awesome. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. The third act is crazy. He is basically, just standing around looking at Christmas decorations while he's got his bag over himself. There's an APB out on a Santa wearing a dark fur trimmed suit. And all of a sudden, a bunch of kids surround him. And it's these kids walking home with their group of parents, from a wherever, Christmas party, who knows, whatever, on Christmas Day. And they run up to him, oh, we love our presents, blah, blah, blah. Well, the parents instantly recognize him as the psycho Santa they've been hearing about. And one of the dads pulls out a knife, and all the kids surround Santa, and they don't want anything to happen to him. And the dad tries to go after him, and the knife falls out, and his own daughter grabs the knife. And for a second, I thought she was going to stab her own father with it. She didn't, at least not in my copy. I don't know. I think there may be some things missing out of this transfer. I definitely want to get a better version. I definitely got to see this movie again. This is going to be a yearly watch, I can tell you now. I have a new Christmas horror favorite, I think. He gets away from the group of parents there, and all of a sudden you see them going old school on him, man. They start making torches, and this giant group, this big giant lynch mob, goes after him carrying torches. He makes it back to his brother Phil's house. He gets into a confrontation with Phil, and Phil, chokes him out. And for a second, you think he may be dead. And Phil's kids are like, don't hurt Uncle Harry, blah, 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 blah. But Phil has like had it. He knows what's going down. He knows Harry's a killer now. And he's had it. And he puts Harry into the front seat of his van. And Harry wakes up and he reaches out and he punches Joe or punches Phil. Why did I say Joe? I don't know. He punches Phil and Phil, falls down. And then he takes off and here comes the lynch mob chasing him down. And Phil's chasing him and the lynch mob is coming the other way and they're both converging on him. And he just turns the wheel of his van. He drives it through a fence, through some crap, and then you can tell that it's being ramped off of something. And you start to wonder, in your own mind, you start to think, oh, he must have just crashed. But in the film, you see him, the van, literally flying off into the moon. And you hear, to all a good night, and blah, 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 that stuff, right? And the only thing that makes me think that actually could have been, even though I'm pretty sure it's all in his own mind, the only thing that makes me think that could have happened was you see Phil looking up like this. And so I'm like tripping on the ending still. I'm still tripping on the ending. I told Jason I wasn't sure about the ending. I'm tripping on it. I really am. I think he just crashed and it's in his brain, but maybe it's not. Maybe he really did get some magic powers somehow and fly off to become the actual Santa. Who knows? But anyways, guys, like I said, this was a fun movie, a fun review. I'm so glad that I found this film over at Bill's. I was just looking through his movies. I started pulling out collections and I saw, oh, Christmas Evil. Let me check that out. I know that you're probably going to cry foul here. I think I've heard it mentioned once before, but I actually have no clear memory of a film called Christmas Evil. And yet right on the back of this, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I mean, maybe you guys could tell me. It says, widely recognized as the best of the Christmas horror efforts. So, yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm going to find a copy of this for myself. And I'm going to hopefully get a better copy because that way it'll look much better and I can, enjoy it more. But definitely, that is definitely something that is going to be a yearly Christmas watch for me from now on. And probably a couple times during the year. So anyways, guys, this is Bronco Juggalo saying we will see you again tomorrow with Day 9. Peace.
Hey, you double G, hey.